Hello, students. Students, it is believed that behind every young boy who believes in himself is a father who believed in him first. Okay, students, your father or anybody's father is a person in the world who always wants you to be or his son to be a great man, to be a man or to be something that he in his life could not be. Okay? A father is a person who wants to catch you before you fall, but he is instead picks you up and lets you try again. Okay? Students, human relations are full of complexities. Even any of human relationship has its own complexities. Okay, and we sometimes have to make them have to bear all these complexities in our relationship also. Okay, the poem we are going to discuss today is Father to Son. Here the father is quite helpless. He could not even share what his son loves and likes. Okay, students, the poem has a certain emotional aspect. Okay, all I want from you is to respect and adhere to what your parents always advise you. Okay, students, always respect them, take care of them, and support them when they are in dire need. Okay, students, so with these words, let us begin this poem. Okay, students, Father to Son. This poem has been written by Elizabeth Jennings. Okay, and this is the photo of an image that has been downloaded from uh, Google. Okay, so let us try to know something more about this poem and this uh, poet. Okay, for that I have to go behind the screen. Okay, Elizabeth Joan Jennings was an English poet. She was born on July 18, 1926, Boston, Lincolnshire, England. Okay. When she was 6, her family moved to Oxford, uh, where she remained for the rest of her life. Okay. There she later attended Anne's College. Okay. After graduation, she became a writer. Jennings' early poetry was published in journals, okay, such as Oxford Poetry, New English Weekly, in New English Weekly, okay, The Spectator, Outsports, okay, Outposts, and Poetry Review. But her first book was not published until she was 27 years old. Okay, her works relate intensely uh, personal matters in a plain spoken, traditional, and objective style. Okay, so you can even observe her writing style here in this line. Okay, she died on October 26, 2001 in Bampton, Oxfordshire. Okay, students. Let me give you the introduction of this poem. The poem brings out the agony of a father who has lost all his kinship with his son. The son is now grown up. He lives in his own world. He has no feeling of any relationship with his father. Okay, the father bitterly feels the pangs of his emotional separation. Okay, he wants the same kind of bond with his son as he had when the son was a little child. Okay, instead of coming together, they are drifting apart. Okay, there is a gap of understanding and communication. Okay, means the father here has been portrayed as a helpless one. Okay, clear. Okay, let us read something more about the same. Okay, such a situation is common feature in the most of families where fathers now have become helpless. Okay, the new generation wants to live life on his own terms and conditions. Okay, the youngsters think independently. They uh, cease to be on talking term. Okay, even they don't even have time to talk with their parents. Okay, the father feels helpless. Okay, he is ready to forgive his child provided the latter uh, feels sorry. Okay, clear. But he rarely tries to understand the young boy's likes and dislikes, demands and dreams. Okay, he even the father is ready to have a compromise between them, but none of the feeling has been shown here for the father from the son. Okay, clear. The conflict is never resolved because they refuse to compromise. Okay, students, clear. Let us go through this poem. Okay, Father to Son, written by Elizabeth Jennings. Okay, students, let me recite it first for you. I don't understand this child, though we have lived together now in the same house for years. I know nothing of him, so try to build up a relationship from how he was when small, yet I have killed. The seed I spent or sown it where the land is his and none of mine. We speak like strangers. There is no sign of understanding in the air. Okay, this child is built to my design. Yet what he loves, I cannot share. Okay, silence surrounds us. I would have him prodigal. Okay, prodigal means extravagant or a person who spends a lot. Okay, returning to his father's house, the home he knew, rather than see him make and move his own world. I would forgive him too, shaping from sorrow a new love. Father and son, we both must live on the same globe and the same land he speaks. I cannot understand myself. Why anger grows from grief. We each put out an empty hand, longing for something to forgive. After reading this poem, I'm quite sure that you have got a little bit about the essence of this poem. Okay, here the father is uh, expressing his helplessness that he cannot even understand his child. Okay, the use of this in the first line, I do not understand this child, this instead of my, indicates that there is a lack of intimacy between the father and the son. Okay, the father is quite helpless and they don't have an any intimacy between them. In spite of the father and the son sharing the same house for years together, there is a lack of understanding between them. Okay, clear. They live in the same house under the same roof, with lots of estrangement. Okay, even they live like strangers in the same house. Okay, the father even tries to recall his son's childhood with the hope of having better psychological insight or feelings into his mind to improve the relationship. Okay, you know, he the line in which he shares his feeling is, I know nothing of him, so try to build up a relationship from how he was when small. Okay, so here the father has tried to build up a new relationship when his son was small. Okay, since his son's childhood, he uh, he does something in wake of making this relationship better. Okay, clear. Yet it seems to him that he has himself killed the seed. uh, he has himself killed the seed that he had sown. Okay, clear. In the second stanza, the seed the seed I spent or sown it where the land is his and none of mine. We speak like strangers. There is no sign of understanding in air. Okay, this child is built to my design, yet what he loves I cannot share. Okay, killer. Although the son takes after the father, okay, and is a dream child, okay, and has been fondly and carefully brought up, okay, the relationship between him and the father has deteriorated over the years. Okay, clear. This is a common phenomena, students. There is no love lost between them. There is an air of indifferent and chilling silence between them, and the two hardly communicate. The father does not approve of the ways of his son. Okay, here if I talk about especially of this stanza, the father even has tried to uh, have a fresh beginning in their relationship. He even has tried to build up a new relationship. Okay, or try to give a new freshness to the relationship, but he knew it very well that the land was of his son. Okay, means it was his heart where he has tried to sow a seed of love, but he did not allow it to grow. Okay, even they speak like strangers and there was no sign of understanding in the air. Means they live in complete strangeness in the same house. Okay, although the child is built to his own design. Means, a child is a mm, uh, is produced of a father's desire, or of a father's design. Yet here in this case, the father is so helpless that he could not even share what his son loves. Okay, he even is quite unaware of what his son's likings are. Okay, move to next stanza. Silence surrounds us. I would have him prodigal, returning to his father's house, the home he knew, rather than see him make and move his world. I would forgive him too, shaping from sorrow a new love. Okay, here another line that shows the uh, estrangement prevailed in the house. जो अजीबपन जो है ना पूरे घर में वो दिखता है. Silence surrounds us means there have no bond of communication to be found between them. बोलते नहीं आपस में. I would have him prodigal. The father even is ready to accept his son, or to bear his being prodigal, being extravagant, uh, a person who spends a lot, इतने सारे पैसे खर्च करता है. He is even ready to bear his expenses. Although, okay, all he wanted is his son should live in the home that he knew. Okay, clear? Rather than see him make and move his own world. The father here is not ready to accept his son to go and make his own world and live away from him. Okay, clear? He would forgive him too. Even the father is quite ready to forgive him. Okay, and is ready to shape from sorrow a new love. Means he can even shape all the sorrows and even mold all the sorrow to a new love. He is ready to forgive him. Okay, sacrifice is the key to balancing, to balance any of the relationship. Okay, we need to sacrifice to maintain or to retain a relationship with us. Okay, clear? In other words, this situation hurts the father. It upsets and bothers him, for he wants to rediscover the joy of being a love and affectionate father to a loving, affectionate, promising son. He longs to have the son back in his life, even if the son proves as prodigal as a biblical son and returns to him. Okay, he wants his son to rediscover the joy of belonging to the family. Okay, as okay, belonging to the family means the father is ready to do the sacrifice to retain this relationship or to make this relationship alive and have a fresh start. But no initiative has been taken so far in this regard from the son. Okay, let us read the last stanza of this poem. Father and son, we both must live on the same globe and the same land. He speaks, I cannot understand myself. Why anger grows from grief? We each put out an empty hand, longing for something to forgive. As the gap widens, the father wishfully thinks that the bonds of father and son relationship would defeat the permanent sorrow. However, when they talk face to face, they lose their patience with each other. The grief breeds anger, okay? Rather than building bridges between them, they find themselves much more distanced from each other, okay? Their urge, their request to forgive each other remains unfulfilled, okay? An emptiness exists between them. Here, the poet here says, the father and son, they both must live on the same globe, on the same, under the same roof, in the same land. वहीं रहना चाहिए उनको, एक घर में ही रहना चाहिए. But he speaks, he stands for the son, that he cannot even understand why anger grows from grief when they meet to collaborate, when they meet to uh, have a discussion for making their relationship better. He could not even understand the cause of reason, the reason of sorry of his uh, anger. Okay, here the poet suggests a solution that they each, the father and the son, both of them put out an empty hand. They have to sacrifice for each other. Okay, clear? And there should be a longing for. means there should be a desire for something to forgive, means there is only one hope to make this relationship a good one, is to forgive each other. Forgiveness, I must say, students, forgiveness and sacrifices are the two basic tools to make any relationship a better one. Okay? But here, both the father and son, they, their urge to forgive each other remains unfulfilled. That results an emptiness that exists between them. Okay? So, students, in the next part of this poem, we will discuss the question and answer and other things. Okay? This is all from my end today. Thanks for watching this video. Okay?